Hello, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the first sit-downy video of 2025. First and foremost, I tried sock curls. I was actually going to do like a first impressions video trying the sock curls, but I decided not to. I decided to try it a couple of times first so that I can give you whatever tricks I learn along the way. So this is my second time trying, and they did actually generally stay. I have a couple of individual spots that didn't stay as well, but you know, this is my second time, so I'm getting a little bit better at it each time. So, expect a sock curl video at some point soon. I thought it was just going to be an immediate fail, but the first time kind of worked. Second time worked much better. Like I said, I'm getting better each time, so hopefully I'll be able to help you with that. Anyway, so I'm calling this a favorites video, but really this is just like dorky show and tell. Like, I just have a couple of things that I want to talk about and jibba-jab about, and I just don't know how else to do it, so this is what we're doing, okay? So, the first thing I want to call out is my vlog camera. So this is what is it? The Sony, I don't think it's the ZV-1F, because I think I have the model that's like one older than that, because there was like a $500 difference between that one and this one, and I was like, I'll just get the older one, and I just bought the microphone for it, with some money I got for Christmas. I haven't actually tried it out with the microphone yet, but this is my vlog camera, and this is its little tripod. See, I like hold it, but then it also is a tripod. I hated shooting vlogs with my phone because my phone is an Android, but my editing computer is my MacBook. She's 12 years old. That's why I call her my editing computer, because that's about all she can do at this point. None of her systems are supported by anything anymore, but she can still use iMovie, so that's what we still use her for. But transferring from an Android to a Mac is a lot of work. So what I was doing before is uploading them to Dropbox and then downloading them from there, but that was taking for freaking ever. And sometimes I would shoot clips for vlogs and then just like abandon it because I didn't want to have to upload the clip and then edit it, and then I only had the free version of Dropbox. You can only have so much in there. Yeah, so this makes my life so much easier, but it's also like so nice. It's got the flippy outy screen. Woo! And it's got so much fun stuff. And it uploads so nicely, and this is my first camera ever with an autofocus. Can you believe that? Like, I can hold something up to the camera, and it, like, shows it. If you haven't watched any of my vlogs, I think all of the Vlogmas ones that I did were with this camera, I think. So that was kind of me practicing and playing around with this. It was a lot of fun. So expect a lot more vlogs from me in the future, because this is so easy to use and so much fun. I want to do an updated plant collection type video. I don't think I've done one of those in a while. So it might just be nice to, like, take you through what I have. A lot of it is actually the same. I did not acquire very many new plants in 2024, but I also didn't have too many that died. It's pretty much just a lot of plants that I already had growing, and me chopping them, and then them growing again, which is fine, you know, it's great. And I just kind of thought that might be a nice video to shoot, because it's got autofocus, but then it also has this thing where, like, on the screen, I can, like, touch the spot on the screen, and it'll focus there. There's a cat hair trapped in the hinge. And I can't get it out. Lena, you're trapped in my camera forever. But yeah, so shout out to my vlog camera. Lots of fun with this one. And I'm the kind of person who, like, here's the thing. A friend of mine said once, and I'll never forget it. She said, Abby, people are already staring at you. So you might as well just do whatever you want. So, like, I'll probably take this in public in the future, too, and, like, vlog in places and stuff. Because she was right. People are already staring at me because, for some reason, they don't know what a wheelchair is. So they see me and they're like, oh. Actually, a funny story. My sister and I were at the Humane Society, probably the beginning of December, because we are volunteers there, cat socializers, and this woman was in there with her, like, son. He must have been about 8 or 9 years old, so he was old enough to know better, and he, like, we were going past him, and he, like, whipped around and looked at me, and he went, what is that thing? And my sister was so offended. I'm not offended. I think it's funny. I'm more offended by the fact that the mom didn't, like, use it as a teachable moment, or, like, I don't know, like, her reaction was just, like she just kind of shushed him and slid him behind her leg. And I'm just like, that's the wrong way to react to that. I'm not offended by the kid. He's just a kid. I'm mad that you reacted like that. That moment was not that offensive to me. Do you want to hear about an actually offensive moment? This is Alyssa's favorite. And it does make me laugh. Like, listen, no, I can dish it out, I can take it, okay? And I accept a good burn. I take it, but this was actually the first time in my life I've ever been offended by something. So if you have been subscribed to me for over a year, you'll remember that my hair used to be all black with just like the white sections at the front. Okay, but in 2024, I decided I didn't want to have to dye it anymore. And as much as I prefer the look of that old hair, I do appreciate not having to dye it anymore. But, we're transitioning away from it, and I understand that there is less cool factor with my natural hair. So, Michael's craft store, you may be aware, that is a place that I frequent often, and as a result, I have a decent rapport with the employees. I don't know their names, they don't know my name, but I go in there, they know that I'm the girl there for Halloween, like, we chat a little bit, it's very casual. So Alyssa and I go in there, September-ish, maybe, and there's this older gentleman there, and he's in the Halloween aisle stocking stuff, and he's an employee, and so he looks at me and he goes, "So what's going on with your hair?" And I go, "I'm so sorry, what?" And he goes, "It used to be so much fun, and now you're plain and boring." And I just went, I don't know. And Alyssa's behind me. She's crying with laughter. I'm so glad she was there so that I have a witness, because that sounds like a made-up story. But no, he went, "This man that I don't even know used to be so cool, but now you're like plain and boring." And then for Christmas, I didn't show you this, but Alyssa made me a notebook, and she had it like in script font on the front. It says plain and boring. I have been called so many things in my life. I've been called actual slurs, actual mean words. But he called me plain and boring, and I cannot let go of it because I've never been called plain. I've been called so many things. No one has ever called me plain or boring. And that was truly the moment that I was like, maybe I'm making a mistake with this hair thing. I have to see it through now. We have to get complete natural hair, but I don't want to be plain and boring. Anyway, that was all off topic, and I don't even remember what I was talking about originally. I was talking about my camera. Yes, that's what I was talking about. So anyway, my point was the kid, what is that thing? That was me without a camera. So I might as well just bring my camera places and do whatever I want and do things. So expect lots of vlogs in places. I might still use my phone when I'm vlogging in places just because it's easier. I haven't decided, but I love my vlog camera. Something else I love that is a newer acquisition as a plant person, I bought this from Temu, and it is already leaking, so it's not great quality, but I'm going to just find the leak and then tape the shit out of it. This super long watering extension for this. This is the air intake part, so this might be where it's leaking from, I don't know. But this is incredible, because there's a couple of plants that are a little more difficult for me to get down by myself, but now I just water them like this. Like, especially on the side of Roger's tank. I don't know if you can see them from the shop, but there's two little, like, water things, and they have baby spider plants in them. This is perfect for just adding water to them. And then, because I can use this, I have this, like, thing of 3 cauldrons that is from Michael's, and I love it for little seedlings. Now, if you know me in seedlings, I always fail. I always think I can grow them, and then I never do a good job. So I'm trying, again, for probably the 600 millionth time, and I have them in the cauldrons, but they're on my windowsill, which is obviously on the other side of my bed. So I'm going to just use this to water them. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I really like this. It's kind of hard to use. There's definitely a learning curve, and I definitely have not learned yet. But I think this weekend I'm just going to, like, fill her up, spray it, like, I'll go outside and just spray it into the abyss, and then see where the leak is coming from. Something else I love, okay, I haven't talked about this a lot on my channel because it really brings out the judgmental jerk in me, but I live in this house with my mother and my stepfather, and my younger sibling, of course, but my mother and my stepfather are both heavy smokers, and listen, growing up with parents who smoke, because my dad smoked as well, is like the best stop smoking ad. Like, I have always been the biggest advocate for not smoking, because just listen to them cough. It sounds horrific. And I cannot believe that we've gone all the way back around again, and the kids are smoking, and they have their e-cigarettes, and they have their vapes, and they're convincing themselves that it's not as bad for them, and I'm just like, how can you rationalize to yourself that breathing in any kind of anything like that close, that concentrated, is good for your lungs? I don't understand how you can get that. So I have never smoked, and I do my best to stay farther away from them. I have my air purifier, but sometimes my stuff smells like smoke, and by sometimes I mean a lot of the time. Found this at Walmart, Easy Pure, Smoke Odor Remover, Spring Bloom. It doesn't completely get rid of the smell, because the smell is so caked into everything that I own. My winter coat, for instance, does smell like cigarettes, this really helps. My purse, some of my tote bags. Like, I bought this a while ago, but I only started using it recently, and it really helps. I think it comes in different scents. I have mine in Spring Bloom, and it says it's a safe formula for homes, fabrics, and pets. So it should be safe. Not like I'm laying it down with my anti-smoke smell stuff, but this, if you're looking to, like, sort of neutralize cigarette smoke smell, I really like this stuff. It's really good. Especially, like, when I'm in a situation where I'm not getting rid of the smell forever, because it's going to just keep coming back, and I want something cheap to help kind of mask it and help cover it in the interim. That's really good. Something else I bought recently that I really like is this little e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. Mine is in the shade, I don't even know, what is the shade? Honey Talks. This is cute. This is not what I'm wearing right now, but it's just a cute little brownish lip oil lip gloss that hydrates my lips. Is cute, easy to put on, doesn't have too much color. It's more clear than anything else. This is a good, like, throw in my purse kind of lip color, especially now that we're in winter and everything is very, very dry. It really helps keep my lips hydrated when I'm not home. Because when I'm home, I'm probably using the Laneige lip sleeping mask. So that's a good one for on the go. As far as consuming media goes, I haven't been watching a lot of movies or TV shows lately. I did see Nosferatu in theaters. It is beautiful. They did a beautiful, beautiful job with that movie. It's atmospheric. You want to be in there even though it's a little scary. Like, visually, it is stunning. I will say that sometimes when a movie is that visually artsy, I feel like they sort of lack the character development a little bit. And that was very true to me with Nosferatu. There's a couple of character elements that didn't quite fit for me like they should. I mean, the Nosferatu story is the Dracula story, right? So we have so much other content of it to compare it to. So that's my only complaint, I would say, is that so much of it felt kind of underdeveloped, especially with Nosferatu himself. Like, if you're gonna go with Count Orlok looking goopy and scary and gross, I feel like you've got to try to play more into the human side of him and feeling, like, lonely for it to feel believable that Ellen has this, like, pull to him that she can't help, right? Instead, we just ended up with this oopy-goopy scary guy that Ellen accidentally called to her and she's trapped to. Like, it just, I don't know, it didn't, that was my only complaint about that movie, is that you really love Thomas, I really love, like, Friedrich, and I don't remember his wife's name, but she was played by Emma Corrin. Like, all of the other characters were great, and I'm not particularly a Lily Rose Depp fan, simply because I have a problem when, like, the Nepo babies don't understand what that means. Like, when they do that thing where they're like, nepotism didn't help me get my jobs, I worked so hard, and it's like, okay, first of all, what? Second of all, you're fundamentally misunderstanding what it means. The sort of Nepo baby label is referring to the privileged position that you started in. You know, Zooey Deschanel is another one that really bothered me because she said, like, my dad was a DP, a director of photography. No one's hiring me because my dad was a DP. It's like, you're right, but that's not the point. The point is, he knew the industry to begin with. He knew people. He probably had access to agents and things to help you, or even just general industry knowledge that could help you, whereas other people don't. That's the point. And that's the point that they're missing. So, long story longer, I tried to give Lily Rose Depp some more grace because she's a little bit younger. But so I went into this expecting the worst from her, and she actually does a really good job. So I'm very proud of her for that. Overall, it's a great movie. They did a really good job. It's beautiful. But, like, I just don't feel that inspired to ever watch it again. Is that terrible? Like, I would sooner watch the Gary Oldman Winona Ryder Dracula again, which I do love that movie, so, like, I'll watch it again anyway, but I would sooner watch that again than this Nosferatu. Does that make sense? And I never did get to see Wicked in theaters, but I bought it on Amazon Prime when it came out for digital, and that's a great movie. I sat here, like, unblinkingly just, like, staring at it the whole time. They did a great job. I know a lot of people were, like, giving them sort of flack on the internet originally for splitting the stage show into 2 movies, but I was always excited about that personally, because, like, that just means they're going to give us more content. There might be an original song or 2 in the second half. Like, yeah, more is more. Let's go. And I think they did a really good job, and I'm looking forward to seeing the second half. Although I will say that all of the deleted scenes that I've seen on the internet are great, and they should have just been in the movie. They shouldn't have deleted any of those scenes. Especially there's this one in particular of Bach and Elphaba talking about sort of, you know, how Bach he really likes Nessa, but he doesn't love her. And he calls her out for liking Fiero. Like, I really think that should have been in there. That was a really good one. And then there was another one where Glinda sort of tells Alphaba, like, that she's a little bit butthurt that Alphaba had Fiero go with her to free the cub, right? That should have been in there, too. They were really good scenes that they cut. Really good, like, core character building scenes, and I think they should have been in there. As far as shows go, the only show that I've been watching is actually this K-drama called Happiness. It's a zombie show, of course, naturally. I only have 2 episodes left, but it's really good. The 2 main characters are adorable. I love them both. And it's one of those sort of zombie shows where the main girl gets infected in episode 1, but it doesn't really ever sort of change her or affect her. She gets infected and it doesn't affect her. Does that make sense? So they think she might have like the antibodies to cure it and blah blah blah. But then they live in this apartment building, and then the apartment building gets put on lockdown because everyone's infected. And it's a very well acted show and very well written and lots of character building, lots of interesting characters. If you're sort of into a zombie show, that's like written really well. That's what I feel like Nosferatu was kind of lacking a little bit, is that character development, and Happiness does it really well. So if you're okay with, it's not a particularly gory show, but like my older sister loves K-dramas, but she won't watch this because she's afraid she's gonna be scared of the zombies. Like, if you can handle the zombies, I would watch this. It's so good. Maybe I'm also just like a little bit extra butthurt about Nosferatu because there were so many comments on the internet that were calling Robert Eggers like the best horror film director of this generation, and I just so don't agree because Mike Flanagan exists. Like, Mike Flanagan hasn't had the chance to do one of those sort of atmospheric period pieces yet, so he hasn't had a chance to do something as visually stunning like that, but all of his work is beautiful visually, but they just have the character and the emotional pull that I don't feel in Nosferatu. That I love The Witch. I do love that movie, but I don't really feel it in that one either. Like, I would never call Robert Eggers the best because I think Mike Flanagan is the best. That's just me. And last, but certainly not least, the reason I wanted to chat with you today, actually, the thing that inspired this video, is that I wanted to tell you that I finished reading Krampus, and I really liked it. It was so good. I think I just really like Brom's writing in general, because I love Slewfoot. And it's funny because you can definitely sort of get a vibe about Brom as an author from reading both Slewfoot and Krampus, even though I think Krampus is significantly older. Like, this is definitely a man who really, really values the earth and really, like, prioritizes, like, nature and that sort of thing. Like, he that's a really big element of both stories, and in a really cool way that I really like. And he just did a really good job, like, incorporating some of the sort of Krampus folklore into the story, and also providing commentary on how, like, the times have changed, but then, like, how you can still honor the traditions at the same time. And one of the things that I really like in both of Brom's books, I guess you could say, is that no character is really all good. They all kind of have elements that you're like, oh, except for Isabel, she's pretty much all good. But the rest of them all are morally gray. Even though you root for some of them and you don't root for some of the other ones, they all have positives and negatives. And even the really, really bad guys, like, you understand how they got to the point that they got to. Like, you understand why they're making these decisions that they're making. They're bad decisions and they shouldn't make them. And you're like, wow, you are objectively a bad person because of this thing that you're about to do. But, like, at least I can see the path that they followed. It's the wrong path, but I get it. I really hate when people in fiction, like, make bad choices and do bad things, and you're like, why would a person make this choice? And I understand that humans in real life are kind of similar that way. But at least in this scenario, like, he's doing these bad things because he thinks this is how he gets out of this situation. Okay, great. So good. I so enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to reading something that's not Christmassy now, and something that's more, I don't know, witchy maybe. The Grady Hendrix has a book coming out on January 14th called Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, is what I think it's called. And I've had it pre-ordered for forever. So I'm just kind of looking for something to read in between. I think I'm going to read Legends and Lattes because it's really short. My Kobo estimates that it'll take me 5 hours to read it. So I think I'll read that, or I'll read Cackle by Rachel Harrison, because I did buy that. I had that one on my wish list already, and then it went on the Kobo daily deal, so I bought it. One of those two, I think, is going to be my next read. But I did not just want to talk about Krampus. I wanted to show you something stupid that I'm so excited about, because I have maximized the reading in bed situation with something stupid, and I just need to share it with you. I read in bed, laying down with my Kobo on my chest like this, okay? Because sitting in bed is very uncomfortable for me. My bed is a little bit divoted for me laying in it, so I have to, like, activate my core to hold myself up. I can't, like, set up pillows behind me because it doesn't work, okay? I can't sit up. I have to lay down. So, like, holding my Kobo up was not working. I asked for one of those bars to hold my Kobo up, you know, like the grabbers that clip onto your headboard for Christmas. And I didn't get one. So, like, what am I going to do? So now I sit with it on my chest down like this, and I use those stupid mirror glasses. It's incredible. This is the dumbest thing ever. I use them every night. Every single night. With this, I'm just looking at my boobs in the floor right now. It's so good. My younger sibling said that she thinks if she used them, they would make her nauseous, but I think maybe if I was playing video games or something, it would make me nauseous, but not with my Kobo. Like, I'm just looking, you know? It's incredible. It's the smartest invention that mankind has ever come up with. This and the wheel. Like, that's it. That's where we max out. If you want to read laying in bed and you don't want to have to hold your arms up or sit in a weird position, just get the mirror glasses. It's so good. I feel like whenever I try to tell someone about the mirror glasses, I feel like they think I'm joking, but I'm not. And it was taking me so long to read Krampus because I'll be honest with you, I like to read before bed, and I kept going to bed and just falling asleep. But then when that stopped happening and I had a little bit of time to read, I just didn't want to hold the Kobo up, and I was all like this, and it just wasn't working. And then I rediscovered the mirror glasses. I've had them for a while, and I just never even used them. I never even tried them. They're incredible. It's life-changing. Other people would call it lazy, but I call it innovative. I call it being smart. Working smarter, not harder. If you want to achieve maximum potato-age, get the mirror glasses. And anyway, that's all. I keep putting my hands in my Stevie Nicks sleeves because they're just a little bit too long, but I like them. I had to buy an extra large because they only had an extra large in this shirt at her concert. So it was like really big on me, like it went down past my feet, but my eldest sister cut it off and serged the end for me so that I could wear it as like a nice little crop top. But that's why the sleeves are too long. Anyway, before I start rambling about absolutely nothing and everything in between, I'm gonna shut up. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know what you've been up to these days in the comment section below. What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you doing? What crafts are you working on? I haven't crocheted anything in a bit, but it's time that I go back to it. But I also am working on building this like mini, it's called Kiki's Magic Emporium. I can see the box. It's like a little witch shop storefront thing, and you like build all the pieces from the inside. So that's what I've been working on. I kind of want to finish that. I'm at the point now where I get to make all the fun stuff, so we're going to do that. But I haven't really crocheted anything. I want to get back into that. But what are you working on? What are you watching? I want to know what you got going on. Please let me know in the comment section below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!